His name was the devil, who Adam gave the title deed to creation to. Because that's what the devil said to Jesus. All the kingdoms of the earth have been given to me. That's what he said. It said Jesus came and disarmed the devil and redeemed us from him. Let's paint that another picture that makes more sense, because there's some interesting prophets that also said, this is the man, and they said, are we talking about the devil or a man? Because the world reflects spiritual kingdoms. That's why I say you want to change the kingdom, change who you worship, because that's how you change the natural as well. The spiritual and the physical are deeply interconnected. He is king, and when we worship him and his kingdom starts to manifest, it's what we want. Trust me. It's actually what the unbeliever really wants too. It's what the whole world wants. It's what the whole world is crying out for. So let me paint the devil with another name, and you'll say, oh yeah, I can buy that. The tyrant, the oppressor, Pharaoh owned all of us as slaves. The whole world was in slavery to Pharaoh. And they were a bunch of slaves building pyramids. And they had a slave mentality. And they had hard, grueling labor. And God heard their cries. God saw their suffering, and God stepped down and sent Moses, go tell Pharaoh, let my people go, that they may worship me. And that's what he did. But this is the gospel, isn't it, too? Because that was a shadow of the gospel of Jesus Christ. And then he takes his people out of Egypt. Great, done. All right, there you go. I got you out of Egypt. It's all over. No, then he brings them to Mount Sinai, and he said, you were once slaves in the land of Egypt. I want to bring you under my rule. Will you have me? The consent of the governed comes from that. God didn't say, you belong to me now and here's my rule. No, he gave his commandments and they gave their consent. They made a covenant. See the difference? A tyrant doesn't do that, but our God does. That's where the West gets ideas like the consent of the governed, because that's how God did it himself. With his people, he delivered from Egypt. It's beautiful. So he gives them a law. But that law was to create a different world than the tyranny and slavery of Egypt. Now I can picture the kingdom. There's a kingdom that's governed by tyranny and oppression and coercion and fear. That's in darkness, that is not where you want to live. And Jesus came so that we could get out of there, to be delivered from the kingdom of darkness into the kingdom of light, to the kingdom of the Son of his love. That's why we profess Jesus Christ as Lord and worship him and appreciate him at the deepest levels of our soul, because many who have been in that place in this world, bound by fear, bound by misery, bound by things that held them captive, when they turned to Jesus, it was like the darkness turned into light. And something awoke in our soul, and we worship him and praise him because we've come to know him and who he is.